Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. Before making predictions for blank Game Week 31, let's quickly take a look at my choices from last week and see how they performed. So another 2 out of 5 correct picks last week, an okay return. The positive was my 2 correct picks of Vardy and Sterling delivered massive points, so kudos to you if you owned either of those players last week. Unfortunately though, Lanzini and Zaha ended up being very poor picks, and Liverpool's usually reliable defence conceded an early goal at home to Burnley and let a lot of us down. So let's move on to blank Game Week 31's picks now, and see if I can do any better for the upcoming fixtures. And as always, if you enjoy the Point Predictor series, please support the FPL TV channel by dropping a like and most importantly getting subscribed. For my defensive option this week, I've chosen West Ham's Declan Rice. This isn't a choice I feel overly optimistic about, and perhaps because I own Fabianski in my personal team, West Ham just aren't the side I ever trust for a clean sheet. With that said, in a blank game week with only 10 teams to choose from, defensively it's slim pickings this week, and with West Ham boasting a home fixture against a goal-shy Huddersfield, on paper it looks like they've got a good chance of one here. As mentioned in a multitude of point predictors recently, Huddersfield simply cannot find the back of the net this season, only managing 8 goals in 14 road trips so far. And notably, in their last 7 games away from home, they've only scored once, a poor record from the Terriers. My any-priced midfielder this week goes to Liverpool's Sadio Mane. To be fair, this could have been Mane or Salah this week. With the Reds facing Fulham, it's the fixture we'll all be hoping for big points in during blank Game Week 31. Opponents Fulham have a disastrous defensive record this season, conceding 68 goals in 30 games so far. Things don't improve much for them at home either, with the Cottagers having played 14 games at home and conceding 28 goals, therefore averaging 2 goals conceded per home fixture. For the fortunate managers who own both Mane and Salah this week, the captaincy decision between the two will be a massive headache. And although I've selected Mane, that's not to say he definitely outscores his Egyptian teammate. Given the form that Mane's in at the moment though, he just seems like the more reliable pick, with the Senegalese winger scoring an impressive 8 goals in his last 8 Premier League appearances. Chances are both Salah and Mane should deliver this week, so fingers crossed, and good luck to those of you deciding between the two for captaincy. It's truly a lottery. My budget striker pick this game week, below the price of 8 million, goes to Bournemouth's Callum Wilson. Had I not selected Declan Rice as my defensive option, then Marko Arnautovic would have been a very strong contender for this category. But with me now not able to choose him, and with Wilson back from injury, he looks to be a very nice option this game week. Callum Wilson returned with a bang in Game Week 30, starting his first game in 7 game weeks and bagging both a goal and an assist, reuniting that dream FPL partnership of Wilson and Fraser, an iconic duo for us managers this season. Having looked at the stats, what's clear to see is that Bournemouth's attack significantly suffered during Wilson's time out, because in the 5 game weeks prior to him returning, the Cherries only managed 2 goals in 5 games, a tally they then matched in 1 game with Wilson back in the side. Their opponents Newcastle have failed to keep a clean sheet in their last 6 away trips, so that bodes well for Wilson's chances this week, and Bournemouth have an impressive goal-scoring record when at home, with 26 goals scored at the Vitality this season. That's the 6th best record in the league, behind only the big guns. For the any-priced forward this week, I've stuck by the in-form Jamie Vardy. With very few of the big teams playing this week, this made selecting Vardy even more straightforward than the last. Having already predicted Mane, that ruled out selecting Firmino against Fulham, and although Chelsea's Higuain came into consideration, the Leicester man has shown much more consistency in the last few weeks. Vardy has now scored in every game since Brendan Rodgers took over, and clearly he's benefiting from that new manager bounce we often see in players. His performance last week made it 31 points in just the last 3 game weeks, boasting 4 goals and an assist. Impressive numbers. Leicester face Burnley away in Game Week 31, a tricky fixture, but surprisingly, the Clarets actually have one of the worst home defensive records in recent weeks, conceding 11 goals in their last 6 home matches and just the 1 clean sheet in that time. So, with those 4 done, I'm now left to choose the budget midfielder, and it's a category I found particularly difficult this week. Without much to choose from, I've taken a punt on Everton's Sigurdsson. Everton aren't a team I trust much to return points in FPL, but given Chelsea's recent away record, that gives a bit of hope to the Icelandic midfielder this week. Opponents Chelsea currently have one of the league's worst away defensive records, conceding 14 goals in their last 6 away trips, worsened only by Bournemouth and Fulham. They've also managed just 1 clean sheet on the road in the last 9, and have also suffered 3 defeats away from home in their last 4, a poor record indeed. Sigurdsson's point scoring this season has been very inconsistent, but with a very uninspiring set of budget midfielders to choose from, at least we've always got his penalty duties to fall back on. He also boasts 11 goals this season and is Everton's joint top scorer at home, so even though he's a punt, he could be a decent one for the blank game week. If I were to be free hitting this game week, Sigurdsson probably wouldn't make it into my draft personally, but considering I can only choose 1 player per team in the point predictor, Sigurdsson seemed like the best of the rest. So that wraps up my point predictor picks for game week 31. As always, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and get subscribed to FPL TV. Good luck to all of you for blank game week 31, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all very soon.